This is the Week 3, 2025 NFL Steve schedule on the maps here. So the Thursday game, Miami at Buffalo on Amazon Prime Video is the only game per week now, besides the NFL international games. There's simulcast. There might be a few later in the season of like ESPN and Monday Night Footballs are on there. Like there's Monday Night Footballs and ESPN, and there's two of them. Then you have the London, you have the international games, like the Dublin, Ireland game, the London games, the three in London, the Germany game. Then you have the Madrid, Spain game. So that's normally what they have. And then you have that there's 2 Monday Night Footballs, and one on ESPN, one on ABC. And then there's a couple weeks there's one on ESPN and ABC. ESPN / ABC Simulcast one. They both air the same game, and then ESPN has the second game exclusively. So, which isn't, there's not a ton of games, on ESPN. Or on, an ESPN, a ton of games on, Simulcast as a whole. So let's go talk about it. So you have Cincinnati, Minnesota with Jimmy Hansen and Tony Romo. That was going to be a feature game because they thought both teams might be 2-0. Or, really it was Joe Burrow. And then you had Joe Burrow like the top player. And they also thought that Cincinnati could be a decent team, especially their first two games. Get the 2-0 like they are. And then Minnesota is 1-1 now. You thought Minnesota either be 1-1 or 2-0. And it's a top matchup. That does not surprise me. But Minnesota did so well last season, 14-3. And you thought, but it's gonna be Jake Browning against Carson Wentz, the main storylines. And you got Justin Jefferson. So I'm gonna see how the Minnesota Vikings can do with the injuries to key players. Like without Aaron Jones, you got are the centers. Is their starting center going to be still back? Able to be back, like the linemen. You have the offensive linemen, so. Yeah. And Joe Burrow's out for at least 3 months due with injury, turf injury. So, that was really the storyline. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I could see Carson Wentz actually doing well, though. Especially against Jake Browning. Especially against Jake Browning offense. And it might also be one of those games where both teams have the clock gets ran out a lot quicker, more, there's a lot of long drives, and the game could expire really fast. I could see that, and maybe they, in order to get some of the media temps in, they have to use because it's just taking so short. They actually maybe it could end at say 2:00 if they use media temps normally. And they might have to add media temps and make it end 2:30, 2:45. I could see. Now I don't know about 2, but noon central. By the time it could take 2 hour game, 1 Eastern, so it would be 3 Eastern. I could see then actually pretty early, 3:30, 3:45 Eastern. Only take 2 hours 45 minutes at the most. I could actually legit see that. And then so, and then you have Pittsburgh and New England. And you go JJ Watt. That's not surprise me. It's the second best game. If they're doing the Fox now, and picking the second best game, CBS used to do it to where they would have the second best game, like the Iron Eagle, Charles Davis. They would always be in the late game or the early game. It would not always be the second best game of the day. And now Joe Davis, Greg Olson are either in the late game, which is the second best game, like Fox, or the early window with Tom Brady, Kimberger, Tom Brady, same time, or they're the feature nationals for the early window. And I don't mind, that. I actually like that, that they're, And then you have the third best, Kevin Harnick Green and Denver LA Chargers. And that does not really surprise me. Denver LA Chargers. In the late window, Denver is a pretty solid football team. But they are 1-1, I want to say. I believe they are 1-1. Those are they're big. They're close loss to Indianapolis Colts. So I could see. So that one's a good game. LA Chargers. Now I've played 3 straight division games to start the season. So they're looking to go 3-0. And that would be huge. 3-0 with 3 division wins. And have a 2-game lead in the division. Possibly. That would be crazy. But yeah. But I could see that. It's gonna be a good game though. That's gonna be a really good game. A good game. Not the best one on during the week, but a really good game. We have the fourth best one. Houston or New Orleans at Seattle. Andrew Catlin, Charles Davis, Jason McCourty. And Seattle is doing good, solid stuff. You always have Sam Darnold. An interception. Is like one of those players that's gonna have high interceptions. But even though you're gonna expect like interception maybe every game, like Sam Darnold. Really, I still believe Minnesota. Like I believe he actually threw. I remember right, he threw like interception like every game. 1-2 interceptions like every game, so it's not like that's what you're gonna get. But he's not playing bad. They're not playing bad though. So the first game they could have actually won, but they used a lot of the time up. San Francisco did. Santa Clara did actually. So they actually used a lot of time up. And if they didn't use all that time up, they probably would have actually been able to win it. Seattle would have. They would have more time on the clock. One more time on the clock. And then so Seattle. And especially playing a New Orleans team that's not bad, but they're not like amazing though. So, yeah. And then you have Houston for game 5. Houston Jacksonville. Spurdy Emmer Juleta. And that one is okay. Jacksonville could have won game. Second game, but then they had a big lead and they lost it though. They lost it. They lost the lead that they had. Let me see. Yeah, it wasn't. So let's see here. It wasn't. Oh, actually, it wasn't big. I think they're up 24-10 after at the start of the third, but they weren't. I don't know what else, but still. And then late in that game, they used like a long touchdown drive. And they ran 96 yards. But since they did, and they won the game with a touchdown. So yeah. I'm not super surprised that game is 5th. I mean Jacksonville. No one thought Jacksonville was going. I mean, like Trevor Lawrence, like Jacksonville. Like Jacksonville struggled last year, so I don't blame him. But Trevor Lawrence did have the little bit off year before he got injured. But then he's not been the Jacksonville. has been showing signs of good though. Like they made I remember them making the AFC Championship with Trevor Lawrence as quarterback. I remember they have some good. They don't have a bad. They're not bad now. So just a heartbreaking game in the last week or last Sunday. So they could have won that one. Probably should. What? But hey, people would say, "Hey, bro," but it's not. They're showing improvement, so you can't complain right there. Houston is 0-2, which is a little stunning though. Houston lost to the Los Angeles Rams, and they lost to Tampa Bay. So you can't complain. Tampa Bay did one late in that one with like a few seconds left in the game. Houston was up 19-14, had to go for two to tie it, make it 2-14, and the extra point in the 2-point conversion, or the extra point in the touchdown. The extra point would make it 2-point, make it 21-19. And make it 21-21 with the extra point. So then don't go to overtime. The new rules, the teams get possession regardless of what the team that scores for team that gets the ball first scores the touchdown. So yeah, I don't know. I see it. But it is what it is. Houston. They've won. They've lost close though, so Houston should be able to turn this thing around, I would say. But the problem though is if Houston even goes 0-3, Houston would win the South, the AFC South by a bit. And now things aren't looking that way. Houston is not an AFC South, going to win the AFC South. Looks like it might be Indianapolis to see if the automatic qualifier playoff spot by winning the division. So they might. And I could see it. And Houston is so. We'll see. We'll see how the Houston game goes. But Houston goes 0-3. Houston. I don't even know if Houston's gonna make the playoffs at all. Houston. That's Indianapolis, Tennessee. Indianapolis is not a bad team, but Tennessee though is they're. You got Cam Ward. Tennessee not bad, but they're not like a great team. They're improving though slowly, and you kind of like if you're Tennessee Titans like coach, your player, you're like the coaches, like you're the owner, like you're the managers, everyone, like a fan. You just gotta expect like that it's gonna be slow in growth, and you have to know and like, hey, this might not be like a quick instant turnaround. And I think they're willing to accept that in Tennessee, and you can see that. So Indianapolis should win that one based on the last 2 weeks. So yeah, but then week 4 it's gonna be the real thing. Who CBS thinks is like the best so far. Now they don't do like a week by week basis, week 2 and 3, like Fox has. So we'll see how it goes. I want to see CBS when they really can. They don't really have it pre-picked before the season started. They actually pick on their own. So I'm really interested to see who they think is higher up. I would assume if Indianapolis could be higher up, depending on who they play. So. And in the Fox early window, we have the second best. We have number 2 announcers: Joe Davis, Greg Olson. in LA Rams at Philadelphia. And they have 7 games on. So, LA Rams at Philadelphia. That's going to be a good one. LA Rams are 2-0. Let's see. Yeah. And then Philadelphia Eagles are 2-0. They're coming off a win against Dallas and win and they played the Arlington Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, and they played the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's not bad though. They played 2 good teams and won them both. Dallas, I don't know if Dallas will make the playoffs or win the Super Bowl, but they might be able to make the playoffs. Tennessee is 0-2, and that's stunning. You know, they do play Sunday football against the Giants in New Jersey, so it's going to be interesting, but I could see it. Philadelphia being number 2. Philadelphia being 0-3-0. And if Kansas City goes to 0-3, Philadelphia is not it. So I could see Philadelphia really just being stunned. And yeah, that's gonna be a good early window game. And my Jets at Tampa in the third one. King Albert and Jonathan Vilma. Okay, now that one's tough. The Jets, it's the third best one. Well, yeah, Justin Fields out with a concussion. So that's what. So we'll see how they perform with that in the second game. They didn't perform that well. You know, the scores were a little lopsided. And then you had Tampa Bay. Did not play close with Houston. Houston's a good team though. And they were both more of a defensive game. It wasn't a bad game. Tampa Bay played well, so Houston played well, so I want to see Tampa Bay. I don't know Tampa Bay is going to be the third one, so I could see it. And that's not a bad game though. The fourth game is going to be Kevin Kugler and Daryl John, or was that number 5? Kugler? I'm not sure. I would probably say number 4. 4 this week would be Green Bay at Cleveland. Green Bay is 2-0. We'll see if they can defeat Cleveland, who is struggling this season, even with Joe Flacco at starter. Yeah, I think what they might do is bring in Joe Flacco, and then he gets out, and they can hand it off to someone else, like one of the first years, like Shador, or then they have a Kenny Pickett, I want to say, as their backup. So bring one of them in. Whoever looks the best as like a second string as to play starter. I could see that. So, do they learn? So, so I could see that. Improve in practice, or I could see it. So, Green Bay, make a first. I mean, Jordan Love does not look super impressive, but especially it's some flashes he does, some he doesn't. So, he's hit or miss. He's not like consistent from him. But it's still Cleveland is gonna carry. Cleveland's gonna carry. Green Bay is gonna bring it to 4th seed. And number 6, Las Vegas at Washington. Number 4, they're gonna do Chris Myers and Rick Shooter. That one is Las Vegas is not good of a team. You saw it on Monday Night Football in Las Vegas, the second game, Monday Night Football, the ESPN exclusive one. that Las Vegas did not look too impressive. Las Vegas, they can like against a really slow defense. They couldn't move the football. They just like slowly but surely move the football, and if they like wasted like they had like 11.5 minute drive, only kick a field goal, or so it's like if they had like a drive that was like 11.5 minutes, those are like a really solid defense. And, they went slow and steady, got the right plays in. Took their time, but they actually scored a touchdown. Okay, sure, but they didn't. And that's ouch. Everyone's just like ouch. Like we took 11.5 minutes just to kick a field goal. It's like, huh? So Washington, the Commanders are not a bad team though. The Washington Commanders are not a bad team. They are a solid football team. They are 1-1. They lost to Green Bay. However, I think they should be able to win against Las Vegas and go 2-1. And that, it might not be that exciting game. I can see it not being that exciting. So that's why it's number 6. That's the main announcers. Sometimes each network has 5. The networks have 5 games, especially when there's like a London game, 2 Monday footballs, like one ABC, one ESPN for a few weeks. And there's like a London game, a game like in like Dublin, Ireland, 3 London games, the Germany game, the Madrid, Spain game. So, and then the number 7 fill-in is the absolute fill-in. Like we have a week like this, we have every single team playing, but then you have like only one, like a Thursday game, a game on Sunday Night Football, a game on Monday Night Football. It's Atlantic United. It's Fox's turn for that. CBS, I'm sure, will have that as well. Tim Burrow, Matt Millen. Tim Burrow is a college football announcer. Matt Millen, I'm not sure if he calls college football. I'm not. No, Mark Shildreth does not. For Fox. I don't even know if he calls college football for another network. Same with Matt Millen. Not for sure either. Peter Randall, I know he does for Fox. Chris Myers, I know he does as well. Or at least he did. At least he did call college football for Fox. And then he would do, and along with his NFL. I'm pretty sure he's probably back to doing that. Although I'm not 100% sure. I know. And then we have Ken Burkhardt and Tom Brady in the featured game. Dallas at Chicago. Dallas is 1-1 after their overtime win against Giants, and then their loss in the opening kickoff game to Philadelphia. Chicago is coming off a tough loss, or blowout loss at the Detroit Lions. They lost a few points to Minnesota, and then they lost 2. And then they lost by 31 to Detroit. Detroit. So, it's probably just because they've been 2 big named market teams in NFL. Like Dallas is a huge market team in NFL. Like in that area, like Arlington Cowboys there, and the Chicago Bears. They're a huge market team as well. They've got all the history in NFL history. So is Dallas being dubbed America's team, and like they're like the most popular NFL team. Chicago is like best team out there. not the best. They were the best, but in terms of like market size, and market publicity is still like one of the best out there. So for that. So expect me going to. I can see it. Philly Rams at Philadelphia, I think would be a little bit better one, but I think they wanted to counter Cincinnati, Minnesota, and they countered that one well. So that was countered. I mean, yes, I mean it was 3:25. NFL sets it to 3:20, 4:25 Eastern. I know NFL sets the game time, but I mean, it's not bad though. I mean, you gotta go pick on either CBS single or Fox early. I'm gonna watch the CBS single since I'm Minnesota Vikings. But I mean, if LA Rams at Philadelphia is your Fox game, and a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people don't have NFL Sunday ticket. They don't. They just watch whatever game is on local like TV. A lot of people do. They just watch games in their local TV wherever you live. So yeah, they watch like their local team's game. So that's going to be Cincinnati, Minnesota. So for me, so I'll get LA Rams at Philadelphia as well, Minnesota. And then, because it's on Fox 3, then Dallas at Chicago, but yeah. And then Arizona and San Francisco, that's game number, I would say, 5. Arizona is not bad this year. Arizona does pick up, Arizona, let's see. Arizona is 2-0. They had a game against the Saints. They did not play super impressive. 2013, 22, 7-22. Or the Panthers scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but they did not win the game. Or Arizona was kind of playing maybe a little like lackadaisical on defense. San Francisco is without some of their top players. Or Purdy, no. I mean, otherwise, no. There are some other key players I can't remember. But so San Francisco, I see why. Arizona does look good. If they can start stringing some wins together, regardless of how they look, Arizona did look really good before where Kyler Murray's like injuries and stuff like that last few seasons. Arizona has had some backup quarterbacks. Kyler Murray's not been looking the best. He's been in and out. If he can get a healthier season like now, they can do really solid football. Maybe back to Arizona that and I would not be surprised if that's the case. So, and tomorrow, on Wednesday, September 17th, I'll let you know I'll let you know the TV map for that day because I want to show you the TV map and show you that what game's gonna be in your area, especially if you don't have you have a Thursday night, Sunday night, or Monday in your area, like the Miami or Buffalo Sunday team market area, like Kansas City and Sunday team market area, and try Baltimore Sunday team market area. And then in the late window, Sunday TV market area for Dallas and Chicago, as well as Arizona and San Francisco.